Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today I'm going to talk about natural hair care, at least what I use, and then a few recommendations for people who have hair that's different from mine that might be helpful. But really what it comes down to is finding out what works best for you. So I'll just start with what I do. Now, first off, the thing I wash my hair with most of the time, that is like pretty much all but 1 or 2 days out of the month, this is what I use, and this is my own homemade vinegar. This is the floral one. I have several videos on vinegar making, and one of my more popular ones is my floral vinegar, and I'll go ahead and post that video right up here. And it's made with pansies, rose petals, and lavender, because these are all things that are really good for your hair. And another one I'm going to start doing, another flower I'm going to start adding to my vinegar for the hair is the nasturtium flower, because it is also really good for helping to stimulate hair growth. Now, how I use it is I take a squeeze bottle. This is just a recycled dish bottle I bought for this purpose. So I bought the dish soap just so I could have this little bottle, and this thing I've been using for years, and it's all dented up and stained because sometimes I've used blackberry vinegar and it stains everything. So not my favorite one to use, but it is a lovely vinegar. But anyway, I fill it up to about right here. Sometimes it just depends, right around in here with my vinegar. So anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 cup at least, and then I top the rest off with warm water, and then I just squirt it through my hair and work it through with my fingers, and I actually kind of massage it into my scalp, into my hair, and let it sit on there for a little bit, like you would a conditioner or anything else, and then I just rinse it out. And that is mostly how I wash my hair. Now, the other thing I do is I use my own homemade shampoo, which I do love, but because the vinegar works so good on its own, I don't feel the need to use this so much. Now, I do have a video on how I make my own homemade herbal shampoo, and I'll go ahead and link to that right up here. And it's totally from scratch. I start by making my own herbal, all natural bar soap, and using the bar soap I make, and my own homegrown herbs. I make a tea and then combine the two together, but you can see how I do it in that video. I do the same method that I do with the vinegar when washing my hair with it, because what you're going to find with your own homemade shampoo is it's not going to have all the phosphates and sulfates and all that kind of stuff added to it that makes your hair, that makes it easy to lather through and work through your hair, which is a good thing. It's just very different to work with. So what I do is I do the same thing. I fill this up with some shampoo, top it off with water or even just a little bit of water, and then I shake it up, and then I squirt it through my hair and work it through, and then I even let that sit on there. Because it's so natural and safe, I don't worry about it drying out my hair, and it really doesn't. The shampoo actually leaves my hair very soft, and I'm really happy with it. And knowing all these good herbs that I've grown in my own garden are in there, and they're all herbs that are good for skin and hair and your scalp and helping to stimulate hair growth and all that stuff. So I have no concern about stripping my hair, and it doesn't. This is so much safer and cheaper in the long run and natural that it's just, between this and the vinegar, it's the only way to go. Now again, if I do use a shampoo, I still follow it up with a vinegar rinse, because I find that my hair turns out best that way when I use the vinegar rinse after using the shampoo. Now, as far as the herbs go, and I know I have a whole bunch, I don't even remember what all's in here. I did list them off in that video. However, you can simplify it. Some people saw that video and felt like they had to have all of the herbs and flowers that are in here. I know I have nasturtiums and pansies and lavender and sage and thyme and rosemary and marshmallow, and then I also add some aloe vera from my own plants. I know I have all that stuff in there. However, if you're wanting to just start with 1, 2, maybe 3 herbs, you don't have to use all these. I would suggest the top 3 be sage, rosemary, and or thyme. And then if you have anything else, like some pansy flowers and stuff you want to add into it, then great, go for that too. But those are the top 3 I recommend, because all 3 of those, the sage, the rosemary, and the lavender, are awesome for helping stimulate hair growth. And I'm going to get to that some more when I talk about my oil that I use on my hair. But first, let me discuss another way that you can wash your hair. Now for me, my hair is typically, people who have curly hair like mine are going to naturally have more dry hair than those who have straight hair. That's just in general. So for me, I have very dry hair. I have to be careful with it. And so this method I'm going to talk about is not good for my hair. I did try it. It was okay for a few days, but then I noticed issues. It was just too drying on my hair and made it more brittle. But that is using the baking soda method. And so I only recommend this for people who have more naturally oily hair and skin. This is going to help take care of the excess oils that your body produces. But one thing you also have to keep in mind, if you have naturally oily skin, oily hair, when you start going with natural methods, it's going to get oilier for a while. It's going to take time for your body to adjust, because what it's used to, if you're used to buying the store-bought stuff that strips all the natural oils from your skin and hair, what happens is your skin and hair will overcompensate by producing even more of its natural oils, because it's trying to protect itself. So I think the same thing applies to your skin. If you're afraid of using any kind of greasy product or whatever on your skin, I make my own skin cream. I use it all the time, and I have the best results with that. I get very few blemishes. They come on now and then, but that's usually just from stress, not from the skin cream. But we've been taught that these things clog your pores and cause blemishes. Well, really the blemishes are usually coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. And so if you're constantly stripping all the natural oils from your skin, and from your hair, it'll all overcompensate, and a lot of times that's what causes breakouts. And so learning how to go more natural is going to be better. So anyway, if you have the more oily skin and hair, I recommend the baking soda method, and eventually you may be able to even get away from using that and just go to vinegar as your body adjusts to the more natural stuff. So that's the one method. Oh, and by the way, same thing with the baking soda method. Use your little squirt bottle. I would say put up to maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the baking soda. Top off your 8-ounce bottle with warm water, and then just work it through your hair. Shake it real good so it's blended well, and then work it through your hair. Now, the last thing I do on my hair, as far as any kind of treatment, when I wash it, and I only wash it every other day, is my own oil that it's my own blend. And I do also have a video on that, and it's right up here. Basically, I'll give you a rundown what I use in it. I use rosemary oil, I use lavender oil, and I use sage oil, all in this. And then the oil base that I use is my own cayenne infused avocado oil. Well, it's not my own cayenne and not my own avocado oil, but I bought the avocado oil, link to that below. I bought the cayenne, even though I do grow some cayenne pepper, and then I just infused them for a couple of months. Now, the oil I'm going to be trying next, I want you to see the color of this. I've shown it before. This is just your basic red pepper flakes, and I'll link to these below. I love the color of this. This just makes me feel like it's infusing better. And I did try this on my poor sore wrist that's still trying to heal, and just straight, and I could feel it heating the skin and the muscles underneath. And so I'm feeling this is going to maybe even turn out better than my cayenne pepper oil. And so the thing I like about this better than the cayenne pepper is this is going to be way easier to strain out. So that is why I'm trying that. So the pepper also has a good stimulating property to your skin and to help with hair growth. So that's why I use this. And this is what I call my hair growth stimulating oil. Now I can't say, Pat, teases me about it being a snake oil, and yeah, it could be, but I feel this has really helped my hair quite a bit. And so you can watch that video and see the ratios that I use. But since doing that video, one other thing I've started adding to it is a little bit of the organic castor oil, because castor oil is also very good for stimulating hair growth. So you don't want to use a lot, because if you've ever used castor oil, you know it's very, very thick. But I just put into a bottle this size maybe about a couple of tablespoons, and then just shake it up really well. And then after I wash my hair, I put in maybe about a quarter size amount in the palm of my hand, and then I work it into my scalp, mostly into my scalp, and then I take my comb and comb it through. And that just has been, that's all I do. I don't use store-bought conditioners or store-bought shampoos. That's all I do for taking care of my hair as far as washing and conditioning it. So the other thing I highly recommend is getting away from any kind of plastic, especially nylon bristle brushes, things like that, and going with something, if you have hair like mine, what you would probably really like is one of these sandalwood combs. I love these. When I bought the first one, I liked it so much, I bought a second one because this was the best price sandalwood comb I could find on Amazon, and I will link to it below. And so I had to buy a second one, and then I have a third one that's shaped a little bit different that I keep in my purse, and I'll go ahead and link to that below because I forgot to bring it in here. I meant to bring it in and show you. But anyway, this, you know, it's kind of got a nice wide too, so if you have curly, thick hair like mine, this is going to be what I recommend for that. If you have straight, easy to comb hair, you can find the sandalwood combs in a finer tooth. And also I recommend going with, if you like the bristle type brushes, those don't work on my hair, and anyone who has curly hair will understand this. It's about a waste of time to even try with those. But if you like those, especially if you have straight, smooth hair, then make sure that you check what you have. Go with a natural bristle, like boar's hair is a good one to choose. I think there's other ones that you can choose from as well. And just consider you're constantly handling these things. You know, it's just another one of those things that is, as much as you can get away from plastic, the better. Obviously, plastic's going to have its place in some things, but as much as you can get away from it, the better off you'll be. And I've just had, these have lasted me for a very long time, these combs. I haven't had them break on me. I've had my plastic ones from the past break easily, but these ones have been holding up really well. So I've been very, very pleased with them. So then some other things to consider too is what you're eating in your diet to help with your skin and your hair. I know this is supposed to be about hair, but consider your skin too. And if you're eating a good, well-rounded diet with getting all the nutrients through your food, your skin and your hair is going to thank you for that. So getting foods high and rich in vitamin K and D and E, things like that, are going to be highly beneficial in helping with your skin and your hair. Sometimes I believe that supplements have their place. Really try researching these things and find the foods that are high in these different minerals and nutrients and vitamins that you can eat. Start adding to your diet in several different ways. For example, Brazil nuts are very high in selenium. So if you have low thyroid and you're wanting more selenium in your diet, instead of taking a supplement, look at something like Brazil nuts, which has enough in one nut to give you your daily recommended allowance. So you think if you eat 3 or 4 of them, you're going to be doing pretty good. So that's one way to get more selenium in your diet. And so just look at stuff like that. So if you're like, okay, I feel like I need more, you know, from what I found out, I need more vitamin this or vitamin that or this mineral, that mineral, just type into your browser. It's so simple. You just do this: foods rich or foods high in ... whatever vitamin or mineral or nutrient that you're looking up. It's sort of like when I was talking about the turmeric. Do you really need black pepper and turmeric together? And I have a video on that right up here. And no, you really don't. Yes, the black pepper does help make it more bioavailable, but there's so many other things in your diet. If you're eating good, healthy diet, you know, getting good, healthy fats and getting foods rich in quercetin. If you don't like black pepper or you're allergic to it, that's going to be the way to go. Don't feel like you have to do things by whatever somebody else said. Okay, one more thing I want to say about hair care before I close is get away from anything, any chemical dyes, perms, things like that. Your hair was made the way it is for a reason. Let it be what it is. We all, I mean, people who have curly hair feel like they have to have straight hair. People that have straight hair feel like they want curly hair. Just be grateful for the hair that you have and learn to live with it, no matter what color it is. It can still be beautiful. Just take care of it naturally. As you can see, I let my hair go gray. I don't care about that. It does not bother me. I'm in my 50s. I should be turning gray. And you know what? I worked hard for these gray hairs. But if you're really that concerned about your gray hair, there are natural ways you can dye it, such as henna and things like that. Personally, I have not looked into those things, so I don't know how they work and how good they are for your hair. I really don't know. But look into it for yourself. Either way, get away from the dyes that you buy at the store. Get away from the perms and getting the professional dyes at your hairdresser, because those things are toxic. And if you're looking for a more healthy, natural life, then those should be like one of the first things you get rid of. And I know it's hard if you're one of those ladies that's used to doing that. It's never been difficult for me because I've never cared. This is the hair God gave me and I'm happy with it. I almost forgot one more thing that you might want to use as a finishing touch, and I use from time to time if my hair is really crazy and just needs it, is your own all-natural hairspray. And yes, I make my own, and I do have a video on this as well, and you can find it right up here. And super easy to make your own and to tailor it to suit you for just pennies, really. So go check out that video and give it a try. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.